Okay, I'm showing you how to use hand-built handle. Okay, instead of use the water to pour the handle. In case if your hand is not when you roll the coil is not even, the tip for getting a piece of a wooden bat and then you just roll it. You will be able to roll it nice and even. And you just use a hand roller to roll it. This method is easier and quick way to, if you are not good at pouring the handle, use the water to pour your handle. You can use this method to get your handle very close to the pouring handle method. And you can just make a loop here and let it dry. Before I trim, I usually prepare my handle. So once I'm finished trimming, my handle is closer to the stage and I can attach it right away. Here is one of my mug I made yesterday, and today it's dry enough for me to trim. And the tip for you, if you want to dry your pieces evenly, this is what I did last night. I came back to my studio when I find out my rim is firm. I just flip it over and let it dry for overnight, and now it's very close to both the rim and the bottom, and ready for me to trim. So that is how I dry my pieces. And people are wondering why I don't have a holding clay. I can have my pot to hold it right on my bat. So the first thing, I was using just water, okay? And the water, once you add water to it, and it become, when you add water in between of your rim and the bat, it becomes a slip. And the slip is it's gonna glue, gonna fix to your clay on the wheel head. And the thing for you to be able to do that is, first, your bag has to be non-porous, something like a plastic bag or metal bag. If you have a wooden bag, like masonite bag, you won't be able to do it that way. So non-porous surface, if you want to use just water or slip to stick them on. And actually, my clay is still on the softer side. It's not as the hard stage as I expected. And if the clay is on the softer side, sometimes it's easier to get the unwanted chattering. Make sure you change the angle, your cutting angle. Usually people, when they're holding the tool, they hold it more like this way. And this way it is easy to trigger the unwanted chattering, trigger the chattering. You can slightly tilt it, so when you're cutting the clay, you shave it off, okay, instead of scraping. You scraping, it's easy to get unwanted chattering. But if you slightly tilt it, it's like you are shaving the clay off, then you probably will be able to avoid the unwanted chattering. Also, you don't need to spin your wheel super fast. If you spin too fast, sometimes you also get the unwanted chattering too. All right, speaking of unwanted chattering or on purpose chattering, now I want to do on purpose chattering. I will put the chattering mark here. All right, I'm ready to attach the handle. So first I will score right here. Use my fingernail to tap on it. Slip. So usually when I'm teaching, I tell my student for attaching two parts, score, slip, pressure. Okay, SSP. Score, slip, and pressure. So I score and I tap and slip and pressure. When you attach it, and make sure you squeeze it, apply pressure to both parts. That button already have the chattering texture, so I don't scratch, I don't score, I just apply pressure to it. Get a needle tool and cut the excessive clay off. So apply a drip of water right by the joint before I compress further. Okay, so this is how I use the coil method to make my handle, and then use the roller to make it flat. And put a little rigid on in the center. I usually like to have a thinner look on the side of my handle. So that's what I did. And the body is a little bit drier than the handle, so I would let it sit for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back and use a needle tool to smooth it. But for now, I would just let it sit. I hope this tip helps, and I will see you on my next video.